As I rummaged through my grandmother's attic, I stumbled upon an old trunk with a peculiar camera attached to it. It was dusty and had no discernible brand or model number on its back. The lens seemed to stare at me like the cold eyes of a predator. I carefully opened the trunk, revealing layers of yellowed tissue paper and forgotten memories within. Amidst this chaos, I found an old photograph album belonging to my grandmother when she was young. As I flipped through the pages, I noticed that each picture had been taken with that camera. It seemed as though it had followed her throughout her life. A shiver ran down my spine as I turned one of the pictures over, revealing a message scrawled in faint handwriting, "I'll always be here." Suddenly, the attic grew darker and colder. The air felt heavy with an unseen presence lurking just beyond the edge of perception. My heart racing, I hastily gathered all the items from the trunk and made my way back downstairs. However, as I descended into the bright sunlight, I caught a glimpse of myself in a window reflection. And to my horror, there was no camera attached to that old trunk on the attic floor, but its lens seemed to be staring at me once more, this time with an unsettling familiarity. The image began to fade away, but not before it whispered, "I'll always be here." I knew then that some secrets were better left unexposed. The attic was always off limits to me. My parents had warned me that it was dusty and full of old trinkets that I shouldn't touch. But on this particular Saturday afternoon, my curiosity got the better of me. I carefully made my way up the creaky stairs, trying not to disturb the cobwebs clinging to the wooden beams above. As I reached the top, a faint light from an open window cast eerie shadows across the dusty space. The air was thick with the scent of old photographs and forgotten memories. My eyes scanned the room for any sign of excitement or adventure. That's when I spotted it, an antique camera sitting on a rickety shelf in the corner. Its brass body gleamed dully, surrounded by faded Polaroids that seemed to stare at me like ghostly faces. A shiver ran down my spine as I approached the camera cautiously. It felt different. As if something was watching me from within its lens. I hesitated for a moment before picking up the camera and examining it more closely. The inscription on the back read "Property of Emily, 1923. Suddenly, images began to flash through my mind, children playing in fields, old houses with overgrown gardens, and a young girl's smile that seemed almost familiar. I felt an unsettling connection to this place, as if I had stumbled upon something long forgotten, or perhaps left behind for me to discover. The camera's lens seemed to be pulling me closer, drawing me into its dark world of memories and secrets. And in that moment, I knew I was not alone. The attic was always off limits to me. My parents would say it was dusty and old-fashioned up there, but I suspected they were trying to keep something from us. As a child of curiosity, I longed to explore the space that seemed like a mystery wrapped in cobwebs. One day, while rummaging through an old trunk at my grandparents' house for some forgotten treasures, I stumbled upon an antique camera with intricate carvings on its body and a lens that glowed with an otherworldly light. The camera felt strangely warm to the touch, as if it had been waiting patiently in the attic all these years just for me. As soon as my fingers wrapped around the camera's grip, I was flooded with visions of forgotten memories, children playing hide and seek among dusty trunks and cobweb-covered portraits, elderly couples sitting by candlelight, their faces aglow with love, and young lovers exchanging sweet nothings in a dimly lit attic room. The images were so vivid that I felt as though I had stepped into the past itself. But when I opened my eyes to find myself back in the present, something was off. My parents' voices seemed distant, muffled by an unseen force. And then, I saw it, a photograph on the camera's viewfinder, taken of me with a gaze that sent shivers down my spine, a haunting smile that seemed to say, "I've been waiting for you." The old camera in the attic had shown me its dark secret, and now I was trapped in a world where memories were not what they seemed.